What's up, guys? We're back with our podcast Unfiltered, and I'm here with my guys.
Lil Mix 03, you know the vibes.
It's Scotty Hottie.
You know, they call me Flicka.
You know, I'm just Papa Splash, baby.
Hey, it's J-Bo 03.
Yes, sir.
And today we'll be covering everything in sports that's been happening from the NFL playoffs to UFC fights. Let's get into it. So, the NFL playoffs, we know who's in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs versus the Buccaneers. A lot of people could have called that. And let's go over the Bucs versus Packers game. What do you guys think?
Well, just to start things off, I want to say Aaron Rodgers played very good for like what his defense was putting out. Like his defense, they couldn't capitalize.
Defense.
Like
Interceptions, bro.
it was 3 interceptions. Tom Brady threw 2 interceptions in a row, like back-to-back drives, and
That's your GOAT,
Like-
man. That's supposed to be the GOAT.
yeah, like that's supposed to be the GOAT.
Come
and
on,
everything.
he's still the GOAT, bro.
I mean, he's still.
I mean,
the GOAT.
clearly, but dude, we just saw this thing on Twitter. It said Aaron Rodgers, 35, like what was it, like 35% of the time in the playoffs, his defense gives up 31 points or more.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
And,
just crazy, bro.
And he
That's
can't do
crazy.
much. Like, okay, so he can only do as much as what like the rest of his offense can do, and his offensive line was literally folding, getting freaking absolutely bull rushed by a guy with three
I
fingers
can't-
on a hand, dude.
I can't take this anymore, dude. All
Look
I've
at
been
his
hearing is how bad the Packers defense was, or what like they had or whatever.
Dude, Kevin King's trash. He's
Bro,
garbage.
no, it's-
Jair
But, bro,
Alexander is the best
bro,
freaking corner in the league.
You
Dude.
cannot tell me on the third down when Aaron Rodgers could have ran in. He could
He could've ran.
have walked into the end zone.
He's
He
not-
could have. He
he's
freaking
old,
could have gotten
dude.
on 4 legs and.
He doesn't freaking move like that. He's old, man.
He literally
Bro,
could have just
no,
walked
it's because
in.
Devin White.
And everybody's like, "Yo, this is Matt LaFleur's fault for not trusting him."
Well, because I'm going to be honest, bro. It was Devin White had a hell of a game.
He did have a hell of a game.
And he shut down the run game pretty well. I felt like. So.
Well, I mean, Devin White's all-pro. They got 2 all-pro linebackers in on Levante David.
It's huge.
The Buccaneers'
It's
defense
huge.
is actually a lot better than I thought they were going to be. Tom Brady played like poop, dude. He's horrible.
And a lot of
He plays like
people,
poop, but he still does good.
like one of our friends
Like
wanted to try
dog.
to blame Mike Evans for not being able to track a ball, but at the same time, the ball is thrown 10 yards short of where Mike Evans is at.
Yeah,
dude.
Randy,
Like,
if you're watching this, bro, stop. Stop
You're
with
just
that, dude.
antagonizing
Just stop
me.
with that.
You're an instigator. man.
Aaron Rodgers is the GOAT. He's the most talented quarterback of all time.
False.
And he's getting
False.
his career
False.
His career is getting wasted on this
So,
on this
okay, bro.
team.
Most talented quarterback of all time.
Yes.
Every quarterback.
Ryan knows it. Ryan
Ever.
feels
Every
it.
my
quarterback
favorite
ever.
quarterback is Brett Favre, so. That's his
quarterback
freaking
ever.
mentor.
Dude.
Bro,
No.
His career is getting wasted on
you
this
cannot
team.
say Rodgers the GOAT though. Rodgers is not the GOAT.
He's the most
not.
talented of all time.
That's
He's
false.
just-
No, it's
For
not.
now he
Easily,
is.
easily.
For now he is.
If he was on the Patriots, they'd have 8 Super Bowls.
Bro, but you can say the
Dude,
same
all
thing.
he has to back him up is his age because he's got all those years behind him to play. Well, I guarantee you there's lots of QBs that are in the NFL right now.
No,
that
dude,
once they
just
get
the
to
some of
same
the
amount-
throws he makes, dude. No other quarterback can convert Hail Marys like Aaron Rodgers. No other quarterback. His
I will
escapability out of the
say,
pocket
he
is
does a
That's
lot.
not,
insane.
that's not
Aaron
strictly
Rodgers-
because of him though. Like if you
Yeah,
throw a
no,
Hail
it is
Mary,
100% because of him.
no, if you throw a Hail
It is-
Mary, you're going
No,
basically.
it's this,
like, you have to,
dude, he's rolling to his left. He's right-handed. Throws a dot 50 yards down the field. That is no one else's. That is all him.
Literally, Kyler Murray just did that this
Yeah,
season.
that's true.
He threw into triple coverage though. Aaron Rodgers is getting guys.
He
freaking
throws
on-
the
Aaron
same
Rodgers-
contested balls. though.
Aaron Rodgers is throwing a dot on the
Yeah,
sideline.
but
50
Aaron
yards
Rodgers'
away,
top plays
rolling
that
out.
are Hail Marys are all based off of luck, dude. He threw the
No.
ball up there and then his receivers.
How
got it.
I
if he
will
has,
Literally what it
it's
is.
it's not luck if he has so many of them.
Aaron Rodgers does a
Yeah,
lot.
because he's the only because he takes chances. That's the only thing. You can only say that he's one of the greatest QBs is because he takes chances. That's about it.
I mean, he does a lot. He does a lot with a little. I feel like. I mean, Alan Lazard had a great breakout like postseason. He did all right like in the regular season too. Alan Lazard had a decent season, and so did MVS. But like, he really only, when you think about it, has that one superstar receiver, and a lot of teams only need that one superstar receiver. But you look at teams like the Chiefs, and they have a superstar tight end and a superstar receiver, and you know, I feel like Aaron Rodgers does a lot with his receiving core that other people could not do in his position.
We'll come back to Aaron Rodgers, but let's move on to the Chiefs versus Bills recap. So you guys are all Chiefs fans, so why don't you?
Tyreek Hill's unstoppable.
I mean, yeah, stuff like that.
Too fast.
The playmaking that the Chiefs have had has been proving to be the best in the league. It doesn't even matter. Like, people can say the Bucks, they're the most talented. You can say whatever. But what we saw yesterday was prime Patrick Mahomes. Like, even though it wasn't his best game statistically, like, he's had better games, but the way he was throwing the ball, he was literally so zoned in, you could tell that nothing was going to stop him, and even if the game came down to one score, it wouldn't matter. He'd literally just take over the game.
What I thought was really, really impressive was the way that we handled ourselves being down 9-0, like right off the bat. Like, I mean, you look at how things went down, and we allowed a field goal. We got a good stop on that drive. It was like a 51-yard field goal.
Yeah,
and Tyler Bass
it
has
was
a
a good
freaking
stop.
leg.
We'll
Yeah.
take
But-
that all day.
But, then we stop him again, and they punt the ball to us, and McCole Hardman just drops it on the 2-yard line,
Yeah,
and
it's
they get a free touchdown pretty much.
Like the fifth
And-
time.
And then it's
I was so hyped
Yeah,
for him
bro.
once he fucking went for that 50-yard run. I was like, thank God, bro. 'cause
But,
he was gonna do trash if he didn't get something.
As soon as like our back was against the wall, I think one thing that I noticed, and I mean you guys probably saw it too, but like Patty was ripping into McCole Hardman, like he was telling him like you need to like be more locked in and like
Yeah.
you have to catch that ball and stuff.
Because, like, McCole, he muffed it and then, like, went over the sideline and put the...
Threw his
jacket
helmet
over his
and-
head.
Yeah.
And, like,
I saw that.
You know, I
He
think
himself,
that was great leadership. Same thing with Frank Clark. You know, I was just saying this yesterday, but Frank Clark, like he might not have the most production, but he's a great defensive leader because he gets everyone like hyped up. He gets everyone locked in,
Yeah.
and he got a sack last night, and like that was huge.
I want to talk about, like, the Bills. I want to talk about how the Bills were so sore, bro.
They're so butthurt.
Well,
Like, I understand the
worst sportsmen.
frustrations.
dude, to be honest though, Chris Jones literally punched some dude in the face.
And that wasn't right. That wasn't
Yeah, but
right.
that's...
I hate Chris Jones. I literally hate that guy. I hate him.
Why?
I've hated him ever since he's been in Kansas City.
Hey.
He's just a sore winner, dude. He literally tries to punish you when you're already down for no reason.
That's...
So
bro,
he,
Well, duh, that's-
everything.
that's what
If
happens
Chris
in
Jones
Vegas.
ever
You gotta
if Chris
kick
Jones
some
ever gets
fire.
injured, bro, he deserves it. I'm just being honest.
You gotta kick some fire into your team, bro. And when you start playing physical ball like that, your defense needs to be physical, bro. Like, you
being
cannot just
physical
sit
and
there...
being dirty is different. Chris Jones is dirty.
Bro, they were being dirty to us, too, the whole
Yeah,
game.
after that had already
No,
happened though.
you-
No, they
obviously we're
were
not
being
watching
dirty
the
because
game.
they were.
No, I
they
was.
were
That
losing.
happened in the first quarter. I literally watched the entire game, and they started being dirty in the third and fourth.
Dude, there's
Everybody was
dirtiness
being
throughout
dirty
the
to each
entire game.
other.
It's
After
just
every
Chris
play, there was
Jones,
pushing,
man.
bro.
Yeah, pushing, but
Yeah,
pushing
it was-
is different from punching some dude in the face.
Literally, you could see him starting to get into it right in
Literally
the first
cracked
quarter.
him.
From the first freaking drive, you could see him start getting into it. They had nothing
Pushing
to do
is
with him
different, though.
punching him.
Pushing
I mean,
is-
that might have
happens in
added
every
Well,
single
did you
game.
see, like, on one of the first pass plays, the player literally grabbed Rashad Breeland's helmet
Yeah,
and,
I
like,
saw that.
threw it down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like, is that not nothing?
Rashad
He's
Breeland
literally all
also
the way
freaking
out of
literally
bounds.
suplexed some dude after the whistle and got
No,
the flag.
though he was already in the air at the whistle. Like he's playing till the whistle. That's not his fault.
Oh, he
The
got
ref should have
penalty
blown.
for
He
it.
should have blown the whistle
Okay.
earlier if he didn't want that to happen. Like
Just saying, like it's both ways. You can't just be.
it is
one
both
team.
ways. I don't think Chris Jones should have necessarily punched that guy in the face.
He was out of nowhere.
But like
Yeah,
at the
I
same
can
at the
see that.
same time, it's like I do understand.
I
Sam's
just
point.
there's a lot of
It's
Chiefs
like-
fans that don't realize how football works because they get mad at the Bills for playing like that and they've been
Or
doing
there's
it.
a
Well,
lot
I
of
mean, to be
Steelers
fair,
fans that
Josh
hate
Allen
Chiefs
threw the
because
ball
Chiefs
at
are
I
freaking.
don't.
Oh,
There's hand fighting,
Jayson.
and then there's literally
You
trucking
hate
some
the
dude
Chiefs,
after
man.
the play.
No, I don't.
Twice in
and
the same
yeah,
play.
number 76 trucked Okafor, and then 73
There's
went on the
Felicio,
ground and like
Feliciano.
freaking did that, and I was like, God.
Plays
And
sound
then
like-
the other thing, they ended up throwing a flag on Okafor when Okafor all he did was yell at
Josh Allen for
Josh
throwing the
Allen
ball
threw
at
the ball
him.
at him. You
Which,
either,
I mean,
and then
and-
there's 3 personal fouls on the Bills.
I'm sorry.
And 1
I think the
personal foul.
Chiefs did a
It's
great
with
three
job.
no
to
yards taken
It's
off.
3 to 1.
themselves.
They basically
There's
said
3
nothing
personal
happened.
fouls on the Bills on that play and 1 personal foul on the Chiefs, and there's no yards taken away because apparently 1 penalty offsets 3 penalties.
They just
That makes absolutely
They
no
just wanna
sense.
act
That's just a weird rule. But either way, Chiefs won. The
Let's
Bucks
get-
won.
Dang.
Moving on.
So let's go on to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl
No, we're
predictions.
going to Super Bowl.
Miguel, what is your prediction?
Dude,
What do you-
Chiefs, bro. You know I'm
What's the
a-
Chiefs
score?
all the way, baby.
Give us the score, the winner, the MVP. What's going on?
24-14 Chiefs.
Who's
What's
MVP?
going on?
Who's getting the MVP that game?
Bro, I'm gonna say Travis Kelce, bro.
Ooh, I like that.
I like it.
that.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna go. I think it's gonna be So the last 2 times Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes faced off, it's been like pretty high scoring. So I'm gonna say, well, I'm gonna say 35-31 Chiefs, and I'm literally just biased to the Chiefs, so I'm just gonna put that out there. But I'm gonna say Patrick Mahomes MVP.
All right, so I'm pretty much gonna be the only one that's gonna pick the Buccaneers in this situation because I'm gonna play devil's advocate because I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I'm not a Bucs fan either. Tom Brady, when he's when he's the underdog, he literally always wins. But when he's not the underdog, he loses. Look at the past Super Bowls he's lost. Eagles were the underdog, Giants were the underdog in both situations, lost all those. But when he is the underdog, he usually wins. And in this situation, I feel like everyone's picking the Chiefs. I mean, how could you not? Their team is a lot better than the Buccaneers, in my opinion. But Tom Brady, 6 rings. This is his 10th appearance in the Super Bowl. I mean, that's just
so
insane.
crazy.
Yeah.
And I just think that if it goes down the line, Mahomes is still young. I mean, he has experience, but Brady, no one's ever going to beat Brady's experience. Bruce Arians and Andy Reid have the same number of Super Bowls in the last 20 years, and Bruce Arians is a really good coach. I mean, Andy Reid's better, but I think it's going to come down to what the defense is, and I think the Bucs defense is a little bit better than the Chiefs, even though the Chiefs' Tyrann Mathieu is really good. So I'm gonna go with the Bucs 31-28, and the MVP is gonna be Tom Brady.
Okay, for me, obviously, I'm a Chiefs fan. Probably, I'm gonna be biased to the Chiefs. So I'm gonna say kind of like middle of the pack scoring. Might be like a 28-24 type game. Chiefs obviously have 28 in that situation, but for my MVP, I think Patrick Mahomes is gonna win it. But my pick, I honestly think that our defense is gonna play better than what people think in this situation, and I think we're gonna build off of this last game. I'm not gonna say Tyrann Mathieu MVP. I'm gonna say L'Jarius Sneed MVP.
Oh my.
Wow.
One of the best corners this
So
year.
your realistic would be.
Realistically, Patrick Mahomes is probably gonna win it, but
your
I,
take is
in my
gonna be
pick, I'm gonna
Sneed.
say L'Jarius Sneed, kind of like a Malcolm Butler situation,
Okay. If Sneed's gonna be all right after.
I think he'll be
confessed,
fine. I think he'll be fine.
But, all right, bro.
Yeah, he's
So this is very biased. The Chiefs are going to win 35-27. That's my prediction. MVP is definitely going to be Patrick Mahomes. That's my prediction.
For me, this game is like, in my head, it's kind of like Tom Brady passing the torch down to Patrick Mahomes. But in my opinion, if Patrick Mahomes does not win this game against Tom Brady, there will not ever be a debate.
Facts.
For whatever Patrick Mahomes
Facts.
does, if he does not win this game, he will never be as good as Tom Brady. So if he wants to be the GOAT, then he's got to win this game.
All right, now we're gonna be talking about the recent UFC fights that happened this weekend. First off, Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier.
UFC 257.
How do you guys feel about that fight?
didn't watch it. but
McGregor
I
got
saw
rocked.
McGregor got rocked, dude.
Dude, he got outboxed. All right, those leg kicks really destroyed his leg. I
Bro,
mean,
he was
he
in
broke his
crutches.
leg.
He was in crutches.
His leg was
bro.
broken.
yeah, he couldn't bob and weave, and so that whenever he started throwing his little Muhammad Ali punch it, whatever, dude, messed his face up, bro. It was so bad.
My thing,
He was on the ground just like crying.
Connor has never really been that great of a boxer. He's a great kickboxer.
That's false. That's false. He went 10 rounds with the greatest boxer of all time.
When he was
Okay,
the
well-
boxer was also like 50.
Yeah, and he was
And-
training specifically to just box.
And
I'm saying before that, he was never really known as a great boxer.
yeah, he was never
was a
known
great-
as a boxer.
He was
period.
great on the ground, and he was great as a kickboxer. That's what he was known for.
Okay, yeah, he was great as a kickboxer, but he'd never been known to box whatsoever. And just to get in a period of a few weeks, just to get right into. Yeah, I know, but in a period of a few weeks, being able to box like someone who's the greatest boxer of all time, no matter how old they are.
Yeah, but
I
I'm
mean,
saying
there's a certain age where you're
You weren't letting me finish. He was trying to do too much boxing, stand up. He was not playing to his own strengths. He was playing to. I mean, Poirier's a great boxer.
He would've-
One of the best boxers in his weight class, and he was playing to Poirier's advantage, and that's ultimately what lost him that.
McGregor's strength is haymakers. That boy be throwing haymakers that just rock everybody's world, and he did not throw a single haymaker against Poirier. It was
Well, I mean, you got to keep your length with a guy who can really box, man.
well, the dude was just kicking him in the leg.
I'm not really like seasoned in UFC, but I literally called it that McGregor is not going to be the same. And I didn't
don't
even
know.
watch the fight either.
McGregor's
needs to go-
mindset is changed.
McGregor needs to go back to freaking trash talking everyone and being disrespectful. And
Yeah,
freaking,
like,
He's
yeah,
polite now.
that's
he
what I
needs
was
to be
I know
drinking the beer and freaking going crazy. with
Irish
his side,
whiskey,
dude.
dude.
It's because
He needs to
he's
start fighting dudes at bars.
It's because he's got a
Yes.
kid now. Like his whole mindset.
He shaved his head and lost his mind, dude. I swear.
Yeah, he went mega mind.
He was in great shape. It wasn't like his body. It
Yeah, he
was
looks
just like
swole.
he. It's like he lost how to like fight in the UFC. You know what I mean? Like he lost the knowledge of it. Like he lost to Khabib and then wanted to try boxing, and then boxed Mayweather, lost there, wanted to come back to the UFC and fight it like it was boxing.
And he was not in his prime at all. Like whenever he fought Cowboy Cerrone, all he did was shoulder him in the face, and he did that, and Cowboy Cerrone couldn't handle it because he
It's
broke his
okay.
nose.
Cowboy came back.
Cowboy did come back. Now, however, like the thing with that is, he beat him, but he beat him so quick with something so little that no one ever thought was going to happen. That everyone thought McGregor was just amazing. It's
McGregor
like-
was using his shoulders against Poirier. You know, he was
He was.
trying.
Well, it's because Poirier was using his shoulders too. Like he knew.
McGregor started it though. I thought that was funny. But hey, you gotta use all your body when it comes to UFC. Like, and what? Oh, another thing that I noticed going back to like McGregor's ground game. McGregor was great on the ground whenever Poirier got the takedown. He took him down early in the first round. McGregor just worked back up right against the fence right there, and then like the cage, not the fence.
Fans cage.
But he worked his way back up against the cage and then just worked his way back up, and that was great. That was great technique, and like he should have done more on the ground if he wanted to make that fight last out until a decision, you know. And if it would have came down to a decision, McGregor actually landed more strikes than Poirier did.
Yes.
Poirier landed more significant strikes to McGregor, and that's what ultimately got McGregor on the ground. And
The thing though that really gets me is the aftermath of the entire fight. Like the Jake Paul. We're gonna get into the Jake Paul.
I mean,
Dude,
that
that was
that too.
beforehand.
I mean, even after, because he lowered the price, because Jake Paul was originally gonna fight him for like what?
500 something.
No, it was like 10 million, and then now he's like 10K. He like moved it. he's
Jake
like,
Paul sucks.
I actually saw that.
Hey, Jake Paul. The
Jake Paul is
I
just
mean, Logan Paul's actually
obnoxious.
kind of cool.
Jake Paul gets
No,
smacked up by
neither.
McGregor.
Both of them are obnoxious.
I don't even.
Bro.
Jake Paul supposed to fight Askren, right?
Yeah. So basically, we all know about how Jake Paul called out like a ton of people, right? But the biggest name was Conor McGregor, and Jake Paul called out Ben Askren because Ben Askren had just recently lost a fight, like really. I'm pretty sure that was like the super quick like flying knee knockout.
Jorge Masvidal.
Masvidal, yeah, Jorge Masvidal. And so, just like a couple days before this fight, I was actually like looking up like the McGregor stuff beforehand, and this actually popped up. But Ben Askren came on like an interview and was like, "Jake Paul, I'm fighting you. Like I'm accepting the fight. I'll see you on like some 28th." And so Ben Askren's gonna fight Jake Paul, and Jake Paul's not gonna last. with
Jake
Ben
Paul's gonna
Askren.
get destroyed, man. This dude just talks so much.
Even
He
if
can't
it is
back
boxing,
up.
that's the thing. Jake Paul does
It's
not
just
want to
for-
go into an octagon with a single person, because if he does, he's dead. He's not even
It's
getting
just
out
for
of the first
clout,
round.
we all know that.
And yeah, it's the crazy thing, is just how ignorant. It's so annoying because it's like at one point where you can fool the public, but he's not fooling them anymore. Like it's so easy to tell, like that. We know he knows he's gonna get his butt kicked if he gets into an octagon. He's not gonna be able to handle it. Everyone knows this.
He has that mentality that he's better than everyone though, and like that's.
I want to punch him in the face just because I don't like his face.
I would like to see that. I want to see you fight him.
Dude, Nate
That would
Robinson
actually
would
be
definitely
different.
beat you up.
Who?
Nate Robinson.
Leave down in the comments when
Nate Robinson is not going to.
When he
Would
beat
Nate
Jason.
Robinson's not.
When Nate Robinson beat Jason in a fight.
It's mess your soul.
Nate Robinson would.
Nate Robinson?
Jason, stand
Yes.
up. Stand up. Show off your respect.
Hold on. Listen, bro. I'm clapping his face down here. That dude's like this tall. He's not doing
He's
anything.
literally like right here.
No, he's like what, 5'7"?
No.
He's like 5'9".
He's 5'9".
Yeah, so he's like
That's like a better
right here.
TJ Scott, dude.
I'm
TJ
dead.
Scott?
In better shape.
TJ Scott isn't doing anything against me either. Listen. What do you Listen,
Where's this coming from?
Okay, my freshman year, bro, I might have got. Listen, I wrestled against his older brother, Truman alum, TJ Scott. third best linebacker, no, fourth best linebacker to be at Truman High School.
Actually,
Fourth best
second
linebacker.
best.
Fourth best. First
Behind
it goes
Zach Watkins.
Zach Watkins. Then it goes Quincy Potts, Jason Boatwright, and then it goes TJ Scott.
Sit down, though. Sit down.
The discussion is if I'm fighting Nate Robinson, who's going to win? And I already said I'm piecing up Nate Robinson with no.
Okay, buddy.
Okay, let's vote. Who votes that Nate Robinson would beat the crap out of Jason?
Nate Robinson,
Living
5'9", isn't doing anything.
Jason,
Who believes that
This is how
TJ Scott will be?
Listen,
TJ Scott.
This is how Jason punches. He winds it all the way back here. Nate Robinson's fast, dude. Jason releases. Nate Robinson will easily dodge an uppercut.
Okay.
Dude, you
talk
talk about how
you
bad
can't
like
say
Jake
that.
Paul is. You can't beat Jake Paul up either.
Probably not.
He's
'cause
like
dude's
10
been
times more
boxing-
athletic as you are, bro.
No, not 10 times more athletic.
Yes, he
no, He
is.
definitely knows how to box better than me because
He played 3 varsity
Jason,
high school sports.
Jason.
That was Logan Paul.
No,
You,
they
you,
both.
you can beat Jake Paul.
They
you
both
want
played,
that?
I think, wrestling,
What?
football.
Your work has
right?
made you more athletic than
didn't
Jake
know
Paul, huh?
I'm more athletic than Jake Paul.
You are not.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, I'm routing him up any day.
This is what we have to deal with. on
I'm
a daily
routing him up
basis,
any
dude.
day. I'm routing up Jake Paul any day.
Because Jake Paul doesn't play football.
What about a
Yeah, I'm
freaking
like,
boxing match?
All right, but boxing, you're talking about straight
Boxing takes
punches.
We're
takes a
talking
lot
about
more
if you
stamina
can
than football.
box
does.
Nate
Yeah.
Robinson. Will you beat him in a boxing match?
Yes,
Will you beat Jake Paul in the boxing match?
probably not. I'm going to play.
All right, so
Y'all
thank you for watching this episode. Tune in. Our next episode will be coming soon, and it's been Unfiltered. Peace.